Whoa. Right. Welcome back, guys. It's been a week now. Yeah.
Yeah, one whole week.
Right. I hope you had time to digest our last lecture. It's good to have you guys back. Let's just pass you on to Daniel. You can say hi to you guys.
Hi, everybody. Hope all is well.
Right. Good. And any questions, Daniel?
So, the last 2 weeks, we sort of touched on perception and stuff like that. We're going to move on this week. Mihai spoke a lot in depth about the way we perceive things individually and how beautiful we are individually as well. So, don't forget that we're always here to touch on being individual, okay? Also, I want to welcome everybody that's taken part in the chat. Thank you all for being here. Give us a shout out. The chat is open for you to ask any questions, okay? So let's move on to tonight's session and see where we go from there.
Right. And okay. Right. Throw a question at me.
Okay, so let's just talk about
What is
what's,
love?
yeah, maybe we could talk about what is love. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Right. Well, what is love?
It's a big question in the world, isn't it?
What is love? Who am I? Who are we? Where we coming from? Where we heading? Questions, questions, questions. Right. Now, first of all, what I know is that love is everything. So even someone's hate towards you is just an example that that person loved you. Because nobody can really hate you or despise you or things like that without love being there first. But also keep in mind that hate is love. It's just disguise. It's love. It's like we hear that God gives us all the good things and the devil gives us all the bad things. But hey, you know, so-called God, he created the devil as well. So how can the devil give us bad things? Everything is from God. But we are all here for a test. And we have to look within and see who we are to really understand love. So how do we do that, right? I know I'm shifting away from the answer, which is what is love, but answering what love is not like just clicking our fingers, you know. Love is respecting and appreciating oneself, the real self. But to really do that, you have to let go of everything. So it just make me laugh. I'm listening to myself and I'm becoming a guru. Uh, right.
That's not a bad thing.
No, no, no. I'm hoping just to be a wise one. I was hoping to become a mystic, not a guru. Anyways, just so you get back, so we can get back to what I was saying. Um, how do we really understand who we are? Well, first, we really have to like spend time with our own selves. You know, we really think that we are. the bodies that we carry around. We're not really the bodies. We just carry these bodies around. And let's just start with the world attachment first, which is the body. We coming from a certain environment, a certain nation, or whatever, a certain background, and we think that we are X, Y, and Z. Example: English, French, Spanish, Caribbean, whatever other nations out there. Right? Giving you guys all a shout. Hope all of you are well. To say no, I'm not missing you out on purpose, but the purpose is. So I'll repeat myself. I'm not missing you out on purpose. The purpose is, and we're missing it out all the time, is we're all one nation, right? Keep that in mind. One nation, right? I'm not gonna go into details with that. Well, I'm gonna say I'm gonna be brief on it. It's one nation, which is the human nation, right? Now, the thing is with the human nation is like this: it's two types of approach to it. We got the natural man, which he sees the world from a physical point of view, and then we have the spiritual man, which sees the world from a spiritual point of view, which is more in depth, which I'm hoping to get there in a couple of more lectures, not just now straight away. We're trying to get you there. So what we want to understand now is this: um, love comes from within, and absolutely everything else comes from within. I personally think that love is God, God's, Allah's, whatever other gods there's out there. You name them. I believe there's only one God with different names around the world, which is the human consciousness. And he could be approached from different ways, from different societies, like, I don't know, physical point of view, psychological point of view, uh, um, um, physio point of view, and metaphysics point of view, and so on and so on. But basically, what I'm trying to say is the love that we think is love, sometimes we're lacking in explaining what it really is. I think that love is actually knowing oneself, which is, if you pay attention to it, it says knowing one self, right? It doesn't say two selves, three selves, four selves, and so on and so on. It's one self. The same one lives in none of us. I'll say again. Same one lives in all of us. It's just that we have bodies, and he chooses to have different hosts. Let's just call it host, because his name is the Lord of Hosts, right? And he chooses to live in us because he wants to express himself in different ways, in unique ways, and learn new things on this platform, which is very limited, a very limited platform. And he wants to expand his imagination and his wisdom, right? Which is one self, one self. And then the big question is, how do you get to know that one self, right? You can't just speak to me and know your one self. I can't just speak to Danielle and just know my one self. I have to actually sit down, be quiet a little bit, stop thinking about all the rubbish that we think is so important in this world, either positive or negative, and just listen to the mind a little bit, see what's going on in there, see what we're feeling, see what we're feeling, see how much I love you words we're throwing around, how much meaning do those words really have? Don't just know someone and say, I love you so much, and why? You have to ask why. Well, if you don't feel it, that means you don't love. You watched some drama last night on the telly, and now you think you love someone, or you probably had dinner, or you have, I don't know, maybe you guys had the physical experience, and now you love each other. You know, it's, thing is this: first, know who you are. Know who you are. Right? No, I'm not saying you have to. It's a trial and error. You have to. It's not like an obligation. You know. And then I'm not saying that if you do something wrong, oh, he's the, you know. Thing is we're making a little bit more complicated because if we do something wrong or according to this world is
Mm.
wrong, um, and it's hard. We find it hard to forgive ourselves, you know. And and at the end of the day, you have to forgive yourself, you know. And second, you will always worry, what if someone else finds out? And then again, you're beating yourself up. That's not love. You can't tell someone else you love him when you're beating yourself up. Come on, be serious to yourself. You know, like be honest with yourself. You know, like how can I say I love you to someone and really mean it when in back of my mind I'm thinking, what if they find out this thing or that thing about me? At the end of the day, we're all individuals, right? On this plane, right? Keeping in mind that we have the energy which is a singular energy in all of us, same energy, you know, but we are individualized. But we're all individual and we came here to have different experience. Otherwise we would just be one here and that's it. There would not be a need to be 7 billion of us. Right? Keep that in mind. Not be a need for that. There will not be a need for that. And honestly, I think you should sit down with yourself and really think about who you are. Maybe even want to write it down. Just write it down. It's not a problem writing it down. You know, you don't have to discuss it with anyone. You don't have to discuss it. You can discuss it with people that are actually encouraging you in finding oneself. You know, the people that you actually have done some. Not talking about EastEnders or whatever other shows out there. You know, EastEnders should pay me now, big money. Um, thing is, we are overrating, overreacting, and overfeeding things that should not be in our lives, right? How do we do that? We're thinking about them, right? So let's go back to that love feeling first. You know, forgive yourself from everything that you have done. You are here to learn. You're here to experience and experiment. You're not here in in a unique how do you mean, how do I mean in an one form. We are here in an individualized form, and we are here to experience and experiment in our certain way. Because we see, even though we live together in the same community, same platform, we experience the drama in different ways, right? So you are here to learn, right? We're going to continue after this small break, guys. I'm just going to pass you on to Daniel, and then we'll continue after this small break.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Mihai. So there's a lot to think about there, guys. A lot, we sit and think about love in a certain perception that we have about it, but you've obviously opened my mind here to all the different aspects of it, especially when you said that hate is the after effect of love. Really, it comes from love. One thing I do want to question you guys over the break is, what are you not forgiving yourself for? I don't need you to answer it to us, but just look deep within and what are you carrying around that you're not wanting to forgive yourself for? Enjoy your break. Have a nice night, and we'll see you soon. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Remember, the chat is open. Submit your questions, say hello, tell us where you're listening from, how's it going, any sort of feedback, any questions, any comments, contribute it to us, okay? So, we're on the subject of love tonight with Mihai. And one thing I asked you before the break was, what are you lacking to forgive yourself for? Mihai, before the break, you mentioned guilt or remorse is something that you're not forgiving yourself for. How does that relate to whether you love yourself or not?
Um, Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you, Daniel. Um, I'll say guilt and remorse and all the other ones, right? Are just excuses that we use because we like drama, you know. We like drama, you know. I say to you, let go of the drama, and you come back and say, yeah, but did you see Love Island? Did you see what happened? I say, let go of it. There's nothing to do with you. Go and live your own life. And you say, yeah, but did you see what happened? You know, da 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 da. And then you come, oh my God, and I have this flu, and I have that flu, and I have this, and I have that, and so on, and you never stop, right? And then I say, let go of it. And then you say, you're mad, you're crazy, you know? How can I let go of something? This is how life is. You get a flu, you get this, you get that. We are feeding it to get it, right? You can't get anything without feeding it, right? We're living in a three-dimensional world. Three-dimensional world. Our real selves go back home in the four-dimensional world every time we go sleep. Every time we meditate, and so on, right? And what we want to do is actually really understand that the only person that's holding us back is us. Us. Not me. I'm not holding you back. You're holding yourself back. Don't blame me or Danielle for holding you back. Right? This is what we do this here, to help you out, to raise yourself out of the self circle that you put yourself every night. The people that you talk to about the same thing. If you don't believe me, just sit down one day and realize if you have different conversations from you had 5 years ago, right? Right? Just do it. Come back to me and say, you know what? I don't really have the same type of conversations. But be true to yourself. Don't be coming here and say, you know what? I'm actually done now. I want to grow and I want to do this. That's good. Even that's good, But just be true to yourself, That's when you start growing. That's what we all want to do here. Start growing, expand our minds, breaking the limits that we self put on or even accepted from the outsiders, consciously or subconsciously, right? Right. Let's go back to that love thing. The love is an interesting thing. Me personally, of course, I am open to debating everything, and I'm open to listen to you guys. But I'm still not gonna change my personal feeling and thinking about it. But I say, love is the universal language to all of us, right? Now, it could be transmitted verbally, thoughtfully, feelingly, emotionally, right? And I don't know if I mentioned sound, through sound, right? We don't really understand how it works, the sound part of it, because not many of us sit down and meditate now these days. But once you do sit down and meditate, you could hear sounds that you don't really hear when you don't meditate, and you will understand what I'm saying. But you really have to be quiet and silent your mind to actually hear these sounds, the way the universal mind communicates with us and to us. And it's not the universe. The universe doesn't exist. The universe is a projection of our minds altogether. Is the one universe within that communicates with us. So just keep that in mind. Oh no, we're not going into the debate that if the Americans been to the moon. Of course, the universe exists because it's a projection of our mind. But we, if we think about it, we are just a projection of our minds too. So we don't really exist, right? So keep that in mind. You know, we are on a plane which is self-created, like us. We are created by ourselves, by the higher selves. Right. So let's go back to the love. First of all, to be able to get to that love, you have to analyze how you are. You know, are you doing things to please other people? Are you doing things to please yourself? Are you doing things because you've seen them on the television, media, or whatever other surroundings? Right? Next, are you enjoying your life? Is your life what you want it to be? Right? Have you ever, if you, right, so we passed that. So have you ever, or you feel like you can do better, or you think your job is not right for you, or you think that you like suffocating and you think, that means you're not true to yourself, you know? Again, other things. I'll give you another example. Are you jumping from bed to bed with different people? You know, are you drinking loads of alcohol? Are you, you know, looking always for an escape, looking always for traveling? You're looking because you're suffocating. Again, you're running away from yourself. You're not accepting, you know, you're not sitting down. You do not know who you are. You do not want to find out who you are. You're afraid of yourself. What if I drink? I'm going to do this. What if I do that? I'm going to do this, right? I'm not getting into details of what you can do when you drink, take drugs, or whatever other things you think you do. Right. All you should do is, wherever you decide to do something, do it. Right? Next day, don't wake up and say, "Oh, I've done that. I swear that I'll never drink again," and this and that. And then next week, you're going to drink again. Because you know what happens? You're thinking of not doing something, which means you're still feeding it, but you're feeding it in a negative way, right? But if you feed it in a certain way, I see you're going to say, "Oh, I enjoyed last night. We should do this again." You see, it's again, same circle. So my point is, to not feed it, you have to take your mind out of it, right? And you can move on. We're not going into details with that. But I'm willing and open to answer you if you contact us, either privately or in the future lectures. So, how do we find out if you love yourselves? Well, personally, we don't want to find out if you guys love yourselves. You have to find out if you love yourselves. You know, like you like individual. If you love yourself, pardon me, you have to be able to feel good around yourself, right? Feel good around your presence. You know, you look in the mirror and you see an amazing person. Doesn't matter who you are, a woman, a child, a guy, an older person. It doesn't matter. You know, like when I say older person, I mean someone that gave up on the youth, you know, like someone that he thinks that, oh, I'm old now, I can't do anything. And there's a lot of us going around, and we only have like 25 to 35 years old, you know. Keep that in mind. All the generation, they go out, they live their lives. They don't think they're old. I'm talking about us and we, the new ones, the new generation. We have so many mental uh, challenges. I wouldn't even call them diseases because diseases, this is disease, right? This is. What is your disease? Oh, let me tell you the most common thing I'm hearing. Oh, I am tired. Well, of course you're tired. You don't want to let it go. You're tired. Let it go. Stop being tired. You know? And how do we feed it? Why are you tired? Oh, last night this and that and this and that. Well, why don't you just stop being tired then? You know? I said, like, how do I do that? You know, we're going into other direction now, but hey, we have to. All of this are connected. All of this is connected. Because if you have self-love, you're not tired. You don't get tired. You go on and on and on and on. I'm hearing this in the Caribbean parts when they have the carnival. Then people go on party for 3 days. If I used to ask myself, how is that even humanly possible? Don't you need to go sleep? You know, you guys must be taking stuff. You know, like you either taking medication or I don't know what you take it to keep yourselves up. No, they just keep going and going. Obviously, they have a little bit of alcohol, but hey, isn't it enough alcohol in the medicine that we take? So, big questions there. So stop being tired. In other words, stop being tired. Stop finding excuses. Stop blaming other people. Get to know who you are. Keep a diary if you have to. Write down. Today I was thinking about these things, right? Yesterday I was thinking about these things. And then you analyze, you look over them, and then you start understanding who you are. Next step, stop blaming everyone else around you. Mom, dad, society, government, this and that. You know, government promises us for ages that they're gonna do this and gonna do that. They're gonna change this, gonna do that. No matter who goes into being in the higher chair, they'll still do the same thing. They have the same role. It doesn't matter. Stop blaming them. They have no reason why you shouldn't live a life with love, right? I know I'm getting a little bit passionate now, but that's like the real truth. You know, you start analyzing, stop blaming other people. You know, you can't change the world without changing yourself, right? It's within your heart to express love, right? If it helps, you can use mantras. I love myself. I am love, or whatever. You know, whatever helps you get into your subconscious mind that you are worth it. You know, you have to you have to get your conscious mind to feed you better thoughts, right? So when you go on a different lifestyle, a different approach to life, you have to look at it. It's not just changing. Like people in general say, "Oh, you're weighted. You have to change your diet." The way you change your diet is mentally, because you got overweight because you don't love yourself. Because if you loved yourself, you would go and ate good food and went and traveled to different places to meet good people, go to the gym, make sure that you like keeping a balanced life. Okay, that's how it is. That's how love comes, and it comes slowly. But you know, you're free to come and ask questions. Because if you don't ask questions, I don't know. Everyone has his own individuality and his own experience and his own background and so on and so on and so on. And they will say, "Oh, but you don't know about my problem." I said, "Of course, I don't know about your problem. You're the only person that knows about your problem, and you're the only person that's feeding your problem, right?" And the next answer will be stop feeding your problem. It's easy. Just focus on things that would make you happy instead of thinking of that rubbish. Easy, right? Don't blame anyone. Don't blame me. Don't blame God. Don't blame the devil. And certainly, you can't even blame the parliament because they gave you £85 a week or whatever they gave you, right? Anyways, we're going to have a small break and we're going to come back to you guys, right?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thanks, guys, for being here. Sending you questions about love. Okay, may I mention, love is the universal language. How beautiful is that? You know, you could tagline that for somebody's business. It's amazing. And I hope that love is your universal language. Okay? If it ain't, make it that way. And we are live. You are listening to We All Fit live from London. Sunny London. Always sunny. Not even being funny.
It's sunny, my son. Hmm. Yeah, it must be the global warming. Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we was talking about love. Do you have anything to add, Daniel?
Yeah, so does love define who we are?
How do you mean?
Does our use of love and the expression of love, the giving or taking of love, does it define who we are as people?
Well, basically, the easiest way I can answer that is this. Let me tell you. You were not expressing the perfection and the completeness of oneself until you come from the point of love. So if you love yourself, you have only love for everyone around you. And that's when you are perfect and complete. We are perfect and complete. We just don't express perfection and completeness because we do not come from the point of love. And love only comes. You can't say to someone I love you and you're actually not loving yourself. Like we tend to say I love you when we lose something, just to get it back. But we are selfish. That's not love. That's just selfishness. Like, well, deep in the roots is the lust of love. The lust of love has many ways. That's the lust of love has many ways, and then that's how it comes. But if you wanna if you wanna embrace and if you wanna build in this world, you have to actually come from the point of love, and love actually makes you. If you love yourself, you're actually loving people around you, and it actually makes you take this platform. When I say platform, I mean planet Earth. Take this platform to a better place, right? That's the only way you can do it. Well, I can go out there and say that this country or that country is throwing this plastic and that plastic in the ocean. Oh, so how is that gonna help anyone? I'm just gonna raise more negativity in the world. All I'm saying is, look, guys, plastic comes from the earth, right? Let's just find a way of not using so much stuff, and that's so on and so on. Obviously, me personally, I don't get involved in this type of conversations because this platform's been here for millions of years, and it would be here for millions of years after we are gone. This platform is a test for all of us, and this platform throws and tries us in many ways, so we lose oneself and we abandon love, right? We get in love for the first time with a girl or a boy, and then we say that's the one, and this and that, and then they break our hearts or we break the hearts, and we don't acknowledge it at that time. You only acknowledge it if that person broke your heart and say, "Why are people so cruel?" Da, 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 da. No, well, you have to grow because that's how you grow. Only by being pressed you grow, and then just because it's the first person you met, it doesn't mean that you really love her. Come on, of course you would love her. It's the first person you met, you know. First time you eat chocolate, it's the best chocolate. I'm never gonna eat another type of chocolate until you try another chocolate, and so on. So look, stop looking at things in this term. Like I really want to say this. Someone said that a certain thing is wrong or bad or is not meant to be done that way, and we are all obedient, and we're all ashamed and afraid, and even if we do it, because we're being possessed by either alcohol or God knows what we have felt in that moment, and we've done it, then we feel remorse, then we feel fear, then we feel afraid, and we feed in the wrong side of it because someone said that is not meant to be done that way. We don't even know that person personally, you know. No, most of the time, a person, like I give you a relative, will say, "Oh, we don't do it like that," but they don't know why they say it, and you believe them because it's your relative, you know. Like, and you have real emotions for the person, and then if you go beyond the word and you actually do that thing, you stop feeling the love for yourself, you know, and then you lose yourself. Listen, you've been put here to try, right? Experiment and experience things in life. That's why you've been put here. Otherwise, I'll tell you again, and I said it before, we would only be one physical body here, right? What would be the point of being so many millions, billions of us here? To experiment what? Poverty? Everyone experiments poverty and hunger and fame in a different way, you know? Everyone experiment because we are all uh, a suck ball of water with different amount of chemicals and emotions, you know, like different amount of chemicals. Everybody is different. Well, the thing is here again, conformity. We all have to be obedient to conformity, you know, like we don't have to do that. No, we are not all the same. We're not all the same. We all experience things in different way. We all internalize things in different way. Again, we're coming back to the natural man, which is the physical person, the person that always lives lives according to the physicality. And there's then the spiritual man that lives life in a spiritual way, right? And that spiritual man, he sees the world like I do, right? And then the more spiritual you get, the more profound you go into it. And then me telling the natural man, this is it, that's it, that man will tell me, boy, you're mad, you need to go to the psychiatrist or something, right? So I'm not blaming him for that. I understand him. He can't understand or perceive what I'm saying, which is fine. It doesn't mean that I have to hate him. It doesn't mean that I have to believe him. Well, again, it doesn't mean that you have to believe me, right? But hey, what I'm saying, somehow in your heart, you're like, damn, how do you know? How did you get this information? Well, I sit down and I ask a lot of questions to that inner self, that inner voice, you know? And I'm always trying to get more and more and more and more, you know? And if you feel like doing something in your life, do it. And that doesn't mean killing your neighbor, right? Don't do that, you know? But I do understand that some of you have thoughts that are like, slap this person or do that, you know? It's because you're thinking it and you're motivating it. The way to stop it is, uh, why don't I invite my neighbor to have some food and some to know him? Maybe he's an amazing person. That's how you overcome it, you know. Or if you really like, you can't be around him, just go and spend your time with your friends, you know, and then go spend time in a lovely place and empower yourself to be a more lovely person. And the next time you see the person, you'll see everything will change. But if you sit at home and every time you see him and you're feeding up part of yourself, of course you would want to, you know, because that's how we are. We are creatures of habit, you know, and what we feed, we become. I know you, I'm not too sure if you guys hear this, but it's always been thrown around mind over matter all the time, but nobody really explains it. It's first it happens in your mind, and then it happens in the matter, which is we physically are the matter. You know, the table is the matter, you know. But first of all, we only exist in our minds. And because we believe in our minds that we exist, then we see ourselves in the flesh, right? So love, again, it comes from within, never comes from outside. Yeah. It would be nice here to have some questions, but hey, look, at the moment we give you the option to have questions. In the future, we might take the options away. So it's up to you guys. All I'm saying about going back to love, loving yourself is always been there. Love for oneself or love for other people is always been there. We're just not really um, turning our attention to it. So how do we turn our attention to it? Well, first of all, we have to acknowledge it being there. And the way we acknowledge the love being there is by listening. And how do we listen? we are sitting down, right? Shut your television off, shut your phone off, shut everything around you off, turn the light off, you know. You can open the window if you want to, and just sit there for a little bit, be in the darkness, or you can just go for a walk in the park, you know, sit by the river or whatever. Things like go back to the nature, you know, and just listen to your mind. You see, listen to your thoughts, see where they go, you know, see where they go, and then you can write it down if you don't have a good memory. I mean, it's not like we, well, we have all have a good memory, but we are bound to forget, you know, because we all living on the platform of having amnesia, because we all here on the amnesia and we don't remember who we are. Because if we remember who we are, we would not go through a lot of troubles about depression or this or that, you know. So, but again, this is a thing for another day, a topic for another day. So all I'm saying, guys, yeah, um, go out, you know, go out, put your headphones on, listen to some nice music, go at some restaurant, go in the park, you know, order food if you're at the restaurant, anything that you like, something that you like the most, you know. Sit down, you know, have some wine. Don't worry about the phone. Don't worry about what's going on the phone. Don't worry about what's going on at the television, you know. Just sit down there, or you can go to the park, get a sandwich with you, get a glass of juice or water or wine or whatever you guys enjoy, you know, and just listen to yourself, you know, and understand how can you like become self loved, you know, and self love comes from that listening, and the more you listen, you will see that it's always been there, love, you know. And then if you love yourself, you know, the love of your life will come in your life as well, you know. And that's how it comes in your life, by appreciating who you are. Be grateful for who you are. If you're grateful, if you're grateful for your experiences, if you're grateful for all the good things that happen to you, even the bad things, you know, if you think about it, don't bad things, they're only shaping you up, you know. They only try to guide you to the who you are, to the oneself, to find the love of your life, to find the right place in the world for yourself, the right job, the right hobby, the right path, you know. When you have the right path, you're not even thinking that this is a job, you know. You're not even thinking that this person is a threat for me. You know, when you come from the place of love, you know, you're not thinking negative of anyone, of anything. Especially, you're not thinking negative of yourself. So what if you've been out and you had a couple of drinks and you end up throwing out and everyone's seeing you and this and that? So what? Do you think they don't throw up? You know, I'm just giving you an example. It doesn't really matter. I'm not saying you should do it again and be proud of it. But I'm saying that you should what if they seen you or anything, you know? So what? So what if you've done a so-called mistake? What is a mistake? Who invented what is good and what is wrong? Who? Why do we have to believe? I'm not saying we should create a rebellion, but why not be self? You know, I'm not encouraging you to harm people. I'm encouraging you to just live, to try and like let the flow go. You know, let the flow go through your veins, and then you will see um, how you really are inside. Right? Okay. So we're gonna take a small break, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna have another couple of minutes on this. I really hope you guys enjoying yourselves. Right. See you guys in a little bit. Okay. Bye bye. Welcome back, guys. Um, I've got a really nice thing that I've heard today, and it's by Freetown Collective. And let's see if we can hear this.
stars. Without stories to keep our light, history grows darker than the blank stare of space. The spider draws its web across time to catch the fading points before we descend into forgetfulness. We are grand, but only if we remember our grandeur. We are powerful, but only if we remember our power. We are beautiful, but only if stories of our beauty are told. How important then is the one who weaves words that by themselves mean little, but together carry nations across oceans, over continents, through time. The spider weaves webs to catch our light, the glory of kings and queens retold, the triumphs of warriors reborn. Through stories, lost beauty can be regained in an instant for those who believe. But you, who have forgotten, are you brave enough to listen?
Right. So I hope you enjoyed that. Basically, what he's saying that we forgot who we are. We forgot our real feelings. We forgot the power that we have. Right? Now, of course, I don't know the person. I don't know. I don't know the person personally. Like, but I feel like I know all of you, and everyone else knows me. But on the plane, so we live on the plane of amnesia, and of course, we do not know each other. But if you sit down and you meditate, you start knowing a lot more people than you think you do. Like, and sometimes you're like, somehow I feel like I know it from a long time, but I don't know how to explain it. Right? I'm sure most of us had that feeling, and we only think it's a feeling. But what is feeling? Right? Again, must start somewhere. Well, in the universal language. What is the universal language? Love. Right? So we're back to love. We're probably going to talk about love in the future lectures as well. But let's define love the way I can, most easier, is accepting, forgiving, and forgetting. Right? Accepting that things happen to all of us. Right? Forgetting people that hurt us, or even things that we done to hurt ourselves. And forgetting, because if you don't forget, you will always bring them back in your life. Right? So if you do all of these things and you focus more on love, you'll start being more happy, and more love is going to come and flow in your life. Right. Of course, we have loads of questions. But hey, how am I going to guess what's in your mind? The mind is an individual thing. Right? Otherwise, we would not be so many. And of course, we all have our filters. The one self, which lives in all of us, is expressed through our own filters. And my filters are in a way, your filters in a way, Daniel's filters in a way. And of course, what I'm saying to you guys, everyone understands his own unique way, or what he is ready to understand. Of course, you can understand something today, and then later on, or later on this week, or later on next year, you'll listen to this broadcast again, and you will understand different things, and you'll come back to me and say, oh, you know what, I'm sorry for cursing at you, but now I understand. or I'm not sorry for cursing you. I stand by it, and so on and so on. All I'm saying, stop hurting yourself by thinking that you're not worth it. You are worth it. You are one of the. You're the best, right? We're here to support and encourage that we can move this platform to a more unique, loved, and in a more expansive way of being with each other, behaving towards each other, and expressing each other, you know? And then, of course, you can add more stuff there. But I think that should be enough today. Thank you for joining us, guys. I really appreciate you all. I appreciate Daniel for being here and helping us. And I hope you are having a lovely evening. And I wish you all the best. I'll pass you on to Daniel now.
Thank you so much, Mihai, for hosting the podcast with We All Fit tonight. Amazing, amazing lecture on love. Amazing outlook on this aspect of life, on the absolute being of life. So there you have it. That's it from We All Fit tonight. Thank you for taking part. Thank you for listening. And thank you for joining the journey, Thank you for taking the time to listen to somebody that's willing to help you grow. And most of all, well done for looking for a way to grow. Don't stop growing. Don't stop being who you are. Take care. We'll see you again on a Thursday night special of the We All Fit podcast. All the best from We All Fit. We're out.